Listen. Did you smell that? It's a hot new lick that I came up with for you guys to practice that utilizes a combination of alternate picking and legato. It's going to get those hands super in sync and mondo in shape. It also sounds sick descending, like this. And on today's video, I'm going to show you guys how to shred through it and teach you the secrets of combination playing. That way you can master it and work on becoming the next generation of SHREDI Knights. Hey there kids, it's your old friend, Uncle Ben. Yeah, look here kids, I've got a whole lot of videos here on my channel teaching you guys some sick alternate picked licks as well as some straight legato runs, and that's all fine and dandy. But my favorite sound of all is combination playing that mixes them both together. You've heard this stuff used to devastating effect in the hands of players like Eddie Van Halen, Paul Gilbert, and Francis Bubbletrousers. And on today's video, I'm going to show you guys why you ought to be practicing licks like this one. But you're going to get even more out of this video if you check out my Patreon page today over at patreon.com/BenEllerGuitars. Sign up today even at just $1 a month level. That's going to get you access to hundreds of exclusive posts like bonus videos, backing tracks, downloadable tabs, and so much more. This week, everybody who supports my channel, even for just $1 a month, is going to get a metric boatload of stuff to go along with this video, like an extended and ad-free cut with even more shred guitar Illuminati secrets, as well as downloadable tabs, practice tracks, and guitar profiles to help you build your own perfect practice session. So don't delay. Sign up today over at patreon.com/BenEllerGuitars. I'll see you there. Not guaranteed to not be a cult. Void wherever prohibited. Much like one Richard Bobby, I like to go fast, which is why today I'm playing my beautimous Ibanez RG565 Genesis reissue with the hot pink Dimarzio Mirage pick-em-ups, and I'm playing through my Friedman JJ100. Now, let's get into it. You know how these things work. First things first, we gotta hear that bad Larry again at step-dad speed. I put this lick in the key of A major. You could also use it in F sharp minor or any of the modes contained there within. I was sort of imagining this going over an F sharp minor chord, starting off on the flat third of that thing and ending on the root. Sounds pretty tidy, but use at your own discretion. Here's what we're going to do. Start off here on the root note on the high E string, the A note. We're going to play up A, B, and C sharp 2 times in a row with alternate picking. After this, move your first finger up a note in the scale to B, and you're going to play that note with a downstroke and then hammer on the next 2 notes in the scale, C sharp and D. After that, go back to the first finger note with an upstroke, and then play down the next 2 notes on the B string. Practice that phrase for a little while on its own because we're going to be taking that up and across the fretboard. Just be sure that you're really following that picking closely, doing alternate picking starting with a downstroke, single downstroke with hammer-ons whenever you do the position shift, and make sure that this guy here is an upstroke. That's going to help you get up and over the B string so you can play that final down and upstroke. Now from there we're going to start off here on the F sharp note on the B string and play up those 3 notes 2 times in a row with alternate picking. Then shift up a position to G sharp with your first finger, downstroke, hammer-ons, and then 2 notes on the G string. Then we're going to start from the D note on the G string, walking up 2 times, before we shift up a position here to E with our hammer-ons. Then we're going to start off here from the B note on the D string, walk up those 6 notes, shift up with your legato, then you're going to be on the G sharp note of the A string, shift up, and then we're going to play the last phrase here on the low E string starting from the E note, ending there on that F sharp. So altogether the ascending portion is going to sound like this. Now the thing you got to pay the closest attention to here is that whenever you go to the hammer-ons, that you don't rush ahead of the timing. You got to be maintaining those triplets the entire time, no matter if you're picking them or hammering them on. I point this out because I see a lot of players who will stay in time great as long as they're picking every note, but the minute that the left hand has to be in the driver's seat, it'll just rocket ahead and do those hammer-ons as fast as they can grab them and totally break the groove of whatever they were doing before. So be sure as you practice this, preferably along with those guitar profiles and practice tracks you can find over on the Patreon page, hint, 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 wink, sign up, I'll see you there. You'll want to pay really close attention to not breaking the groove there. It should feel totally solid and smooth. Practicing combination playing like that keeps the two hands really in sync with each other, which means you're always going to be in the groove. The hands are going to be lined up a whole lot better, and it's really going to train that left hand to stay on top of the beat way more better. So the next thing you want to do is to practice the descending version of this sequence, which is going to sound something like this. So I'm starting off here on the high A note on the E string, that's fret number 17. We're going to walk up A, B, and C sharp 2 times in a row with alternate picking. After that, go down a note in the scale to G sharp. You got to play that note and hammer on the next 2. Back to the first finger note with an upstroke, just like before you play down 2 notes on the next string. And that's the entire phrase. Next, start off here from the D note on the B string. You're going to walk up twice before you shift down to C sharp and do the hammer-ons. G sharp on the G string is the next starting point. Shift to F sharp. C sharp on the D string. B. F sharp on the A string. Shifting down to E, and then lastly B on the E string. That puts you landing on C sharp, which I was thinking of as being the 5 of an F sharp minor chord. Whenever you practice sequence licks like this, it's always a great idea to think about what chord it could be used over, you know? What note does it start on? What note does it end on? What's a chord that contains those notes? Always good to be kind of thinking ahead of yourself like that. So descending will sound like this. You could actually play this lick 100% alternate picked. I just don't think it sounds as cool personally. I don't know, it's got that like machine gun, really consistent thing, almost like a keyboard, but I mean, that's one of the reasons I play guitar, is to not sound like a keyboard, right? I like the combination that you get whenever you hear the consistency and punchiness of the alternate picking, and then the smoothness of the legato, you know? I just always think that sounds cooler, you know? That's why I've always liked the sound of, you know, these kind of licks. I just think that's way more interesting than, how would I do that? You know, straight alternate pick like that. I think that's less interesting sounding. Maybe it's just because I've been listening to Eddie Van Halen literally my whole life, but that's just the sound that I tend to go for, you know? And honestly, that's how most players in rock and metal play. Most guys out there, well, at least not in my generation and before players, are alternate picking gods like what we're seeing now. Every time you turn on Instagram, there's some like absolutely insane alternate picker like Baxty or Stefan Taranto or any of those guys. Just insane alternate picking. But most of the stuff that people like you and I have listened to our whole lives features a combination of picking and legato. So I figure why not practice licks like this? And if you get comfortable with it, you're gonna start craving that sound and you're gonna start doing it more subconsciously, you know? That's the cool thing about all these sequence phrases. It's not so you can bust this exact lick out at your next blues jam or whatever. It's so that you can learn the fundamentals and let them start creeping into your playing naturally. So that's why I really advise following that tab, following the picking notation, the hammer-ons and all that stuff as close as possible, just to start making it more natural for you to bust into on a whim. So there you go, guys, a lick that's hotter than your Meemaw tap dancing barefoot on a hot tin roof, or some other country nonsense like I'm prone to saying here on my channel. Hope you guys dug that one. Get even more out of it by checking out the Patreon page at patreon.com/BenEllerGuitars. It's where you're gonna find the guitar profiles, the downloadable tabs, the practice tracks, everything you need to build your own perfect practice session and become the next Shreddy Krueger today. Looking forward to seeing you guys over there. Tons of stuff available, even for just $1 a month. Thanks so much for watching, and stay tuned for some more hot shred stuff coming at you next week. Now, it's been fun, as always. But as for you, I recommend getting away from the computer machine, grabbing that rock guitar, and mashing some rope. Less clicking, more picking.